You know, yesterday, to follow up on what Jonathan said yesterday, a former Republican senator, a former conservative Republican senator, said on the air that he could not vote for Donald Trump because he's an insurrectionist. And the person interviewing him said, but you should be worried about other things, like tax policy and regulations. I mean, how do you put an insurrection against the United States government up against changes in the tax code?
Short-sightedness.
No,
you have to have a country in order to have tax policy. I mean, remember we were talking on the street with the Republican couple, and the conversation was so difficult because one of them was definitely going to vote for Kamala Harris, knowing that ultimately that person wants to see a strong Republican Party return. And the only way that happens is getting rid of Trump and MAGA. And I'm sorry, that's the only way it happens. He can't be on the stage. He can't be controlling and pushing the buttons of the Republican Party for the party to be conservative and true to its core values. And the others thinking about the money and thinking about, well, you know, truth is fungible or whatever. It's crazy, the conversations out there.
You know, Donnie, the thing is also, so this argument that was made yesterday by an economic reporter, don't worry about the insurrection, worry instead about tax code and I think regulations. It really, that underlines a point that I've made on this show before that I'm going to make again. If you're a capitalist, if you believe in American capitalism, as I believe in American capitalism, unapologetically believe in American capitalism, it has lifted more people out of poverty than any other economic system ever. It has its problems. The sharp edges always need to be rounded off where it doesn't get in the way of competition and free markets. But if you believe in American capitalism, you should be worried about Donald Trump being elected. We always talk about democracy. We always talk about democracy, Madisonian democracy under threat, because Madisonian democracy is under threat. But American capitalism also under threat, because I will tell you, I grew up a conservative. I know you didn't. But what we conservatives believe is in less government, less power concentrated the imperial presidency, less power concentrated in Washington, D.C. And here you have Donald Trump saying, I'm going to take all the power into my office. I'm going to control the Fed. I'm going to control the FCC. I'm going to control the Justice Department. I'm going to control everything that I can control within the Oval Office. That is the antithesis of Madisonian democracy. That is the antithesis of checks and balances as laid out in the United States Constitution. And what that should do is worry CEOs, that should worry entrepreneurs, that should worry capitalists, because that's what you get in corrupt nations where you have a strong man who picks winners and losers. That's when competition, that's when the free market, that's when the invisible hand is slapped by the autocrat running the state. And that's when capitalism loses.
I have a question about capitalism and people voting for Donald Trump. And I always get into this. I, like you, was with some people over the weekend, a group of people and kind of Republican types, you know, swing voters, Republican types. And they go, well, I hate Donald Trump, but, or I know Donald Trump is a bad guy, but I'm still voting for him. I can't go there. I go, well, why? They go, those policies. I said, well, what do you mean his policies? You know, taxes and the economy. I said, well, do you understand that every Democratic president, going back to JFK, with the exception of Jimmy Carter, the stock market has been up more than every Republican president. I repeat that again. And I also say to them, well, take a look at your 401ks and take a look at your stock portfolio and take a look at everything, like every possible thing. And I also give them the argument that you just gave, that you understand capitalism as we know it will not exist for the reasons. And you look at Project 25, and you look at everything, as you said, from the FCC to the Fed, to everything reporting to him, to also his choice of oligarchs and whatnot. And they still tilt their head and they go, well, I like his policies, but, and there is this resistance. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's this something we have to stay the way we are and we can't move forward. And I like things the way they are and I don't want to share more. And there's too much evening out with Democrats. But there's this weird apology for I'm going to vote for a bad guy. I don't care. I'm going to vote for someone who's morally corrupt. I don't care. Then you bring up January 6th. Well, yeah. But there is this resistance to take in the evil and the moral corruption and to sell their kind of moral compass down the road that I still, as a behaviorist, I still, again, as a consumerist, cannot figure out. Maybe you can help me with this.
Yeah, guys, there is, we all have talked about this for years now, there is this willingness to just kind of flit aside stuff that's really serious. You know, they go, oh, you guys, you take him too seriously. He didn't mean the thing he said, all of those. And to the people Donnie's talking about and you guys are talking about, when you put these questions, the Dow this morning is going to open right at 41,000. 41,000. Historic unemployment in this country. You go right down the road. I guess it comes down in some cases to the corporate tax rate being too high. Trump says he'll bring it down to 15% from 28%. They're worried that Kamala Harris will raise it up even higher than that. So they find ways to do it, or they tell you that there's a. Did you see that there was a transgender runner at the Paralympics yesterday who didn't even finish, make the final? It's those kind of there's the tax rate. And then there's for lack of a better term, a woke element to it that they seem to be fighting against.
Well, I mean, it really is. They have come to a conclusion, and they always try to justify the conclusion. Yeah. And when it's hit with facts, they just have no answers.
Well,
she's a socialist. Like they said, Biden was a socialist. You go, well, the Dow just keeps hitting record highs. And you're richer now than you've ever been, I tell them.
Biden's president, not Trump.
The Biden presidency has made you richer than you have ever been. That's socialism. The Biden presidency has created a record number of jobs. Compare it to Donald Trump's presidency. That's socialism. The American dollar over the past few years, stronger than any time it's been in over a generation. That is socialism. Under Donald Trump, the federal deficit higher than ever before. The federal debt higher than ever before. Donald Trump broke records. Donald Trump, over his 4 years, raised the federal debt more than Bill Clinton and his 8 years in office, George H.W. Bush, his 4 years in office, Jimmy Carter's 4 years in office, and Gerald Ford's 2 years in office. He raised the federal debt more in 4 years than those presidents raised it over 18 years. I mean, you could go down one marker after another economically, and Donald Trump doesn't come close to the record of the Biden-Harris administration. So if you're a capitalist, if you believe in free markets, if you believe in a strong stock market, a strong job market, a strong economy, really the answer is pretty simple. You don't want Donald Trump back in the White House. And yet, it's almost like they watch cable news channels every day that fill their head with propaganda. And they're just not strong enough to change the channel. Not just smart enough to resist the lies or the disinformation or to go off a website that is just spouting constant lies. I mean, the economic numbers are undeniable.
I know, the facts are undeniable, but I think you made a good point there. Still